What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another awesome knife review slash knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Microtech UTX-85. It's my understanding that the UTX series is essentially the number that comes afterwards is a percentage length of the Ultratech. So the Ultratech, I think, is somewhere around 8.5 inches. I used to have one. If you haven't seen my review on it, there's a review of a bronze Ultratech that I had on this channel. The UTX-85 is 85%. The length could possibly mean blade length, and then there's also a UTX-70. I should also point out, after just doing a recent search, I found that there is a Cali legal UTX-85. So for those of you folks who live in California, like the, you can see what you think of my review, but if you like the idea of this knife, you just need one that's going to be Cali legal. I guess there is a UTX-85 that's California legal. Anyways, this knife was provided for review by my good buddy Shaker MT. You can find him on Instagram at ShakerMT1970. Check him out, he's an awesome guy. If you are new to my channel or you've been around for a while, either way, if you'd like to support this channel, you can follow the link down in the description to my Patreon, where you'll find some really cool Metal Complex logo stickers and Metal Knight helmet stickers. Those are available at some of the lower tiers. Also available is my once-a-week Patreon exclusive content. That's available at any tier, even the $1 tier. So if you'd like to check that stuff out and at the same time support my channel and at the same time receive a free shout out, whether you want me to plug your Instagram, your YouTube channel, or you want me to say something funny or ridiculous, whatever, as long as it's appropriate for YouTube, that would absolutely mean the world to me. So check that out if you'd like to. Anyways, let's go ahead and get a measurement on this guy. This is the very first time I've ever had a UTX-85 in my possession, so I'm really thankful for that. UTX-85 coming in at 7.25 inches, 7.5 if you count the glass breaker. I don't know why you would, but some people do. Blade length on this guy is going to be it's not quite 3.25. It's like 3.2. The actual cutting edge is actually about 2.9 inches. This particular one is not going to be Cali legal. Like I said, they do, just a quick Google search, I located a California legal version of this knife where the body is the same length, but the blade is much shorter to make sure that it conforms with California law, California knife law. So you guys can check that out if you want to. Let's do some size comparisons. I'm getting lost in my words here. Let me clear this. I have a, no, there we go. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so sometimes I get little notifications and messages that pop up while I'm doing reviews. Anyways, up against the Ontario Rat Model 1, you can see the Rat 1 coming in substantially larger at 8.6 inches overall. How about up against the Spyderco PM2? Spyderco PM2, still much larger, coming in at 8.3 inches overall. How about up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue? Ritter Hogue coming in at 8 inches overall, still substantially larger. How about up against a really good size comparison, I think, the Benchmade Bug Out. Benchmade Bug Out is coming in at 7.5 inches overall. This, I think, is a really, really good size comparison. Fans of the Benchmade Bug Out, I'll tell you right now, if it's legal to own and carry an OTF, you're really gonna like the Ultratech. There's a lot of similarities in terms of like how much space this thing takes up in your pocket for how much utility you can get out of it. I will point out though, the Bug Out, despite these being aftermarket scales, is still, it's just a little, no, you know what? It really is. There's some contouring. There's some deception going on here. The Ultratech is ever so slightly thicker than the Bug Out. And it's also a little bit heavier, but we'll get into that. I've found that I really enjoy the feeling of this, the feeling of the the UTX-85 in my pocket is very similar to the Bug Out because of the profile. Last but not least, up against the Spyderco Para 3. Spyderco Para 3 coming in at 7.25 inches overall, so same length there. How's the action? This is a dual action OTF. So the action is fantastic. It is a Microtech, so you have very, very minimal blade play. I mean, very minimal blade play here, guys. These new ones, these are awesome. If you guys didn't notice, this is a Blade Show West edition. Here's the date. You can see October of 2019, number 22. So this is a very, very new model and very indicative of their quality as of today, as of current. Check the date on this video. It depends on when you're watching it, but I've had Microtechs from a long time ago, and I've had Microtechs up to now, and it's like their quality just keeps getting better and better and better. They've had great, they've been great quality in the past, and they've gotten even better. We do two more size comparisons for those of you who are watching this video because you are a massive OTF fan or OTF collector. You might want to see it up against some other famous OTFs. So up against the Benchmade Infidel, which is a much larger knife. Benchmade Infidel coming in, I believe, at 9 inches. Here it is centered on the Infidel. And here it is with the butt lined up there. So you can see there, the Infidel much larger. And because I've got one and because I just love it and I just can't help but show it, the Microtech Combat Troodon. Combat Troodon being Microtech's current, their biggest double action OTF. So you can see there the UTX-85 up against the Combat Troodon, butt to butt and centered, you can see there. So this is definitely a little guy, though not their smallest, definitely a smaller OTF. What are we working with materials? We are looking at hard coat anodized 6061 T6 aluminum, which is what they've been doing for a very long time. On this particular version, we have blacked out tri-wing, whatever you call that hardware. I always lose the word, but hardware that you don't have the tool for and it's special to this and you can't use a specific or a common tool to undo, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that. And then we have a two-tone 204p blade. It's my understanding that as of right now, if you buy one of these in the next month or so, there's a chance you could get them in M390, you could get them in LMAX, or you could get them in 204p. I think I heard they're moving everything to 204p, which is Carpenter's version of M390 or Carpenter's version of 20CV. It's the same composition. I really like 204p. And I think they've done well with it. They've done well with M390 in the past, so I don't know why they wouldn't do well with 204p. Fantastic, fantastic blade steel. Absolutely. I think it's worth pointing out that this thing fires a lot harder than I thought that it would. I think it's just because it's a little OTF. I just assumed it wouldn't fire that hard, but it carries the same quality. You know, it's not the same. I'll admit, it's not like firing my Combat Troodon, where that you have this massive kick and recoil, but that's a much bigger blade. But what you do have is that smooth, crisp snap of a Microtech OTF that seems to have just gotten better over the years. So it's very satisfying. No, it does not feel fragile. It feels quality. It feels solid, you know, and the fact that there's no wiggle gives me that feeling of, you know, this is a well-made item. Let's go ahead and weigh it here. This guy's on the smaller side, so I think the weight will not come as any surprise to most people. 2.93 ounces. Boy, that is awesome. Almost exactly, or very close to an ounce an inch on, you know, blade length to weight ratio. So that's going to make a lot of people happy. Really, really cool. So I think it's worth pointing out, there are a lot of people watching this. They live in areas where OTFs are legal to own, but not to carry. For those of you, it's just going to be entertainment unless we're in the, you know, we're in the future and things really turned around for the knife world and it's legal to carry this kind of stuff everywhere, which is unlikely. Or you live in parts of the world where these are not legal to carry, or they're not, some places they're not even legal to own, which I think is ridiculous, but that is the way that it is. So for those of us who are fortunate enough to live in areas where we can carry these, this video is going to be a lot more informative, or hopefully it'll be more informative. So anyways, like I said, we have a dagger style blade here that is truly sharpened on both sides. Another feature of a knife that can make it not legal to carry in certain areas. This is kind of, you know, you can't, on a knife like this, you can't bear down on the blade, but that's okay because this is one of the only styles of knives where having two edges actually makes sense. On a folding knife, there's very few folding knives out there that are sharpened on both sides, save the Hinder Maximus and a couple others. And that's because they are a little bit tricky to retract back into the handle, and the blade actually has to fully retract into the handle in order for that to work, right? You can't have something like this where the other side of the blade's sticking out, because if this were sharp, then you would just run your fingers into it all the time. But anyways, on an OTF, blade goes all the way back into the handle, so you can have two edges. Now, they do have versions of this. I think they have a Tanto and they have a drop point, where it's just a single edge. Honestly, I would opt, if you can, if it's legal in your area, I would opt for the two edges. Why? Because you get double the edge. You can just use one edge, and it wears all the way down. Oh, flip it over, you got another edge. Or you can just use both edges and you just have double the edge retention for 204p. I know that's relative depending on what you're doing, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. Looking at this in terms of a tool, which is, in my opinion, exactly what it is, yeah, that's a huge benefit there. It's always impressive to me when they can get that line just perfectly centered. It's awesome. Blade thickness on this guy is not super, this is not a thick blade. Let me zero this out. Try to get it right on the biggest chunk of this. It looks like about 123 thousandths. It's, and between 120 and 125 thousandths. So not a lot of room to taper down to the edge, but what room they have, they did get down to a decent, thinness behind the edge. This isn't going to be an absolute laser beam, but again, it wasn't really, I haven't said this yet, but I don't think this was designed to be an absolute performance cutter. I think it was designed to be a tool of convenience, right? And also one that is very easy to carry in the pocket. We didn't talk about that. Carry profile on these little guys is awesome. It's basically just a little rectangle. So up against knives like the PM2 and Para 3 that have, in my opinion, kind of awkward carry profiles, and nobody seems to complain about them. I say that every single time. You can see there the UTX-85 is simply going to be an extremely easy tool to carry. So that's great. And it is, of course, very convenient being able to deploy it, the double action feature, being able to just deploy it with the slide of a switch. So that's cool. I like the little fuller, and I like the little holes. Microtech knives are one of the only knives where I kind of enjoy those little aesthetic speed holes. It looks cool. It says UTX-85 DE, which stands for double edge on this guy, and then it says 204p and USA. Microtech knives are made in the USA. I'm going to take this opportunity to say this, because I've seen some things lately that just really bother me. Guys, if you are new to the knife world and you're new to the folding knife world, some of the most attractive knives out there are switchblades, and there are some companies who have figured out exactly how ripe the market is for automatic knives, right? The draw to them. You'll find companies out there that boast their knives being made for hard use, and they're great. They make a big deal. They got a great marketing campaign going, right? But if you read between the lines, you'll find out that they are not made in the United States. They're sporting very subpar old steel, right? I'm not gonna tear anybody down, but I saw a company the other day that a lot of people follow on Instagram, and a lot of people seem to think are just absolutely legitimate. Selling Chinese OTFs with 440C steel for over $300. A lot of you guys are going to know exactly who I'm talking about. Stay away from companies like that. In my opinion, that's basically a scam. Like I said, I'm not going to tear anybody down, but if you're going to spend that much money on an OTF, you don't have to spend that much money on an OTF, but if you're trying to go for the real thing, the Microtech knives are the real thing, there's some other amazing automatic companies like, Benchmade makes some premium automatic knives. ProTech makes some premium automatic knives. Guardian Tactical makes some premium automatic knives. Those knives are truly premium, using premium steels made in the United States. They are not, there's an argument sometimes that prices are a little high in some cases, but some of these other companies that are really just trying to pull one over, don't be fooled by those companies. Absolutely not. They're not the same at all. 440C is a very old steel. It used to be top dog. It is not anymore. 440C is a steel that you should find on a knife that costs around $25 to $30. In fact, Gonzo, a company that just recently moved to D2, was selling knives in 440C around the $35 to $40 mark, and they made the switch up to D2 and now sells D2 folding knives for about $25. So if that gives you a perspective on price and materials and things like that, hopefully that helps people out when they're shopping for these things. So sorry to take a few minutes out of this video to do that. It struck me as, wow, I can't believe that this is actually happening. Anyways, really, really handsome blade. Like I said, you can get these in a variety of different blade shapes. You can also get different finishes like tumbled, satin finished. You can get their apocalyptic finish. There's even some bronze ones out there if you're lucky. pretty cool. You can also get them in a lot of different colors, like literally every color of the rainbow and a bunch of colors in between. So that's pretty cool. That's another great thing about Microtech OTFs is if you have a particular flavor style, you can generally get it in a Microtech knife. These do have proprietary, that's the word I was looking for, proprietary hardware, but that's how Microtech has been. It kind of stinks, but whatever. Microtech has a great warranty. If you don't try to take these apart and do your own mods and do your own stuff and you mess something, that's why they don't want you in there, right? So I can't say I 100% agree with it, but I can understand how they arrived at the conclusion they did as far as their warranty goes. Just use it the way it's intended to be used. If something goes wrong, send it back to them. I've heard they have an excellent warranty. You can see there the claw logo looking nice. You can see their new texture on their switch, which I really like. The switch is very smooth and it's very easy to operate. These things seem to just deploy without fail, and I really, really like that. Moving down here, you do have a little lanyard hole, which is kind of nice. It kind of sticks up that way, but I don't think it's too obtrusive. The new glass breaker style looks really nice. It's much the same as my Combat Trudon. In this case, it is coated. The pocket clip here carries in true deep carry fashion. You can see it'll have the serial number on there, Microtech 10 of 2019. Another thing to point out is on this, a few companies and one company in particular, their knives actually have the exact same pocket clip as a Microtech. This is Microtech's pocket clip. If you see this same pocket clip on another knife, it is, I mean, they didn't do it. Microtech did it, and it's basically being taken from Microtech and applied to these other basically knockoff OTFs. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this. Not all these will say Blade Show West, obviously. This one does because it was the Blade Show West edition, but this is all how they come now. And, you know, after seeing this dark red, I'll tell you this, if I ever go, you know, reach out and try to get myself a small EDC-sized OTF, I'm definitely going to go with this red color. This dark blood red color is just awesome. It's really, really cool. Truthfully, all the way around, I don't have any real complaint. I mean, this is as straightforward as it gets for, I mean, Microtech has perfected the UTX-85 and really the OTFs in general. If you're looking for a mega high quality OTF, check with Microtech. I mean, Microtech there's a lot of great OTF companies out there, like actually good OTF companies that are worth spending your money on, but Microtech just makes a great knife. They have a nearly perfect product in the UTX-85, and considering they're coming in at about $240 at base, I can't argue with that. That's a US-made premium automatic knife. And thanks to channels like X-Ring, I believe is his name, doing these amazing destruction videos and hard use tests on these Microtech knives. Yeah, these things are serious. You know, thanks to that guy, we know that these things actually can stand up to some serious abuse. So I got nothing to complain about. This was an easy video to do. I like this thing so much more than I thought I would. I can actually get my whole hand around this little UTX-85. It's a great EDC size, great EDC weight, great EDC carry profile, awesome steel. You can get it in amazing blade shapes with different finishes, different colors on the handles, you know, and it's durable. I mean, gee, like, it's straightforward. It looks cool, it sounds cool, and it's designed in a way that really emphasizes its abilities as a tool. You know, these are great. I really like these. I'm now interested to actually see if the UTX-70 is too small. I imagine it might be for me, but whether it's a UTX-85, an Ultratech, a Combat Trudon, you know, whatever. Microtech makes some amazing double action knives, and the UTX-85 is definitely no exception. So this will absolutely be going on my most recommended knives playlist. It's a bummer that it's not legal everywhere, but for those of you, who live in areas where it is legal to carry and own them, I can absolutely recommend this knife. And again, be careful about these these junk OTFs out there that are trying to pass as high quality items. Check the description, find out where they're made, find out what the blade steel is, find out what the handle material is, make sure that you read that stuff, and then compare it with the real stuff like the Microtechs. If you're on a budget and you can't spend more than 50 bucks, okay, there's a lot of sub $50 OTFs out there that should serve you, decently well. But for God's sakes, do not spend $250, $300, $350 on basically a knockoff junk OTF. All right, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on this metal complex logo right here and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.